I've been in a wheelchair since 1988. Now, I was only in one, I'm going to say part-time, from 1988 to March of 2010. I was no longer able to walk after March the 15th, 2010 because of the Fascioscapulahumeral Muscular Dystrophy that I was diagnosed with back in 1984. So on today's program, I want to tell you, because a couple of people have asked me how I do this, how I go to the bathroom. How I go to the bathroom. We're going to start out with urinating, and then we're going to get into defecating, which is number one and number two. So when I urinate, and I had to learn all this pretty much on my own, and my doctor helped me with some of this because my doctor's in a wheelchair too, with the same kind of MD that I've got. That's pretty cool. So he gave me some tips on this, but I had to learn a lot of this on my own. So when I urinate, I always carry in my wheelchair, in the back pouch, there's a pouch on the back of my wheelchair that's open, and I can slide things down in that. So I always keep me a wash rag, and I always keep me a bag of wet wipes. The wash rag I use when I unzip my pants to go to pee. I place the wash rag on top of my pants, underneath my testicles, so as not to get any urine on my clothing. I put that there, I pull up to the commode or the urinal, and I do my business. I lay the wash rag off to the side, and then I take a wet wipe and I clean my genitals off to make sure they're clean and sanitary and all of that. And then I put the wash rag back in the pouch along with the wet wipes. You're going to think that's pretty nasty. Well, there's no other option. Now, to keep it sanitary, I always spray my pouch once a day with Lysol, a lot of Lysol inside the pouch to keep it as sanitary and as clean as I possibly can. I change the wash rag once a day to keep it very sanitary. And I know that goes through a lot of wash rags. That's 7 a week. But that's the best option that I have found. And it's easy once you get used to it. It's an easy process. 1, 2, 3, you're done. Now let's move on to defecating, which is pooping, which is number 2. This has proven to be more of a challenge to me personally. Now, I know everybody's disability is different, but I'm going to tell you how I have learned to do it. So I can no longer use any public restroom to defecate in. Why is that? Because the commode seats are simply too hard. With my disability, my muscular dystrophy, the muscles in my hips are pretty much gone. I mean, there's a few left there, I guess, but I have very little padding left on the bottom side of my hips and my rear end. So the only restroom that I can use is the one at home, and it's an extremely soft commode seat. And so what I've learned to do is we have Velcro, my caregiver has Velcroed the seat, excuse me, to the commode. We've removed the main seat off the commode, and we Velcroed this soft seat to the commode. Now, no one can lift it up or down. I don't allow anyone to urinate or to pee in my commode that I defecate in, to keep it sanitary, because I don't want to be sitting in a bunch of urine when I go to poop. So we have 2 restrooms in my home. So we have a sign on my door for men to use the other restroom if they have to urinate. So the reason why we had to Velcro that seat down is because on a normal commode seat, whenever I would slide over onto a normal commode seat, it moves. And eventually, and it doesn't take very long, they tear up. One side or the other snaps, they come unbolted, and then there you're in a mess. So the way I've done it is we Velcroed the seat to the commode. And what I do miss though is traveling. This affects, since I cannot poop outside of my home, I have to be very careful when I eat, what I eat, where I eat, and all of that. Because what I don't want to happen is have an accident happen away from home. So I cannot stay in a motel room anymore. I can't, use a restroom anywhere publicly. Just impossible. So that's what I do when I go to the bathroom. So I hope this has helped you. I've given y'all maybe a couple of tips. And if you like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Y'all take it easy now. Bye-bye.